this with competitive today. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm in a good mode, but I got some competitive games I just played
Okay.
not long ago. So uh, one of the games, so I'm not playing Moira all the time. Sometimes I play other support champs because I'm just only focusing playing on competitive games on support. So
Okay.
I'm not touching other positions. Although I do want to master some of my damage skills, but on the damage rolls. But apparently it's not a short. It's a not in the short term though. So I played some games today, and then I found that one game I'll share to you later. I'm not sure if the one of the enemy damage used was cheating, but I'm not sure. So maybe you can find out because I was just doubt that one of the enemy Hanzo was using aimbots, but I'm not sure like he did or he did not. Maybe I admit there are some flaws on my skills. Like I'm not all 100% perfectly control all the time, but I'm not sure that Hanzo is merely lucky or he is using some cheating stuff.
Oh, wait. Do you mind giving me the code for the replay you want to go over?
Yeah. Give me a sec. Let me see if it's this one. Alright.
Okay, so what have I know? Second.
Okay. I'm sorry.
So what I was gonna say is I have something right after this. Unfortunately, I didn't realize when I had scheduled both things. So I have a team VOD review that I'm doing right afterwards with my team. That they want me to come to. Would you be okay to either do the 20 minutes of quick play playing later, or maybe on top of another session?
Oh, so you do have time for this hour, but you don't have time for the session afterwards, right? Oh yeah, that's totally fine. That 20 minutes, it's pretty flexible, so we can do that on the remaining 2 sessions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that later on. But let's do this right now, though.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
share
Okay.
you.
Let me know when you get it.
Cool. I think this is a competitive game, and and the um and the average rank is a 30 is diamond definitely. So it's and I just paste the link to there. So
Ready
Okay,
for
and I'll be streaming it in 1 second.
cool.
I'm streaming Overwatch. Let me know when you're there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Your Qs are correct?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I initially used this Moira, but afterwards I used Mercy then. So you can go from the beginning though.
I can go in front of the what?
You can go from the beginning.
Yeah,
Like,
I accidentally skipped past it.
Oh, it's okay.
I cast this forth.
Oh, yeah.
I am optimized. Check out this gun. Get into position.
Okay. Critical HP Reinhardt. So remember that you gotta pocket him. You can't let him sit like that. You start damaging when he's basically when you start damaging, he's still low.
Yeah.
Maybe we watch this for a second. So he is, but when you start damaging, he's at half HP.
Yeah.
So you're damaging him. He's half HP, and then he's dead instantly. So you have to make sure that when you're damaging, before you start damaging, you're checking to see what health the other person's at. Or what your team's at before you start going for the damaging, because your Reinhardt's half HP, and then because you weren't looking at him, he dies.
Yeah. Also, you can check if enemy Hanzo is possibly using cheats.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, so it's the enemy Hanzo. Yeah.
Yeah, but you could have kept them up if you had healed them faster there. So at this point, you basically just lost because your Reinhardt died.
Yeah.
I must reflect upon this. Objective lost. Stop the payload.
Right, sorry, I fast forwarded a little bit too far into that. So, right here, we're damage boosting. And then I think we just start healing him too late there.
Yeah.
We're right clicking, look at his health, he's getting behind. He's getting a little bit down.
Yeah.
And then your Mercy's healing him up, and then now he's critical. And then you're still damaging, so the reaction just comes a little bit too slow.
Okay.
1 second, to message someone.
This will improve your condition.
Meteor strike.
We still need you.
Okay, good dodge. Wait,
Ultimate is almost
pay attention to kill feed, because your Ryan is now alive, yet you back super far up. So instead of maybe here, what you can do instead of fading all the way over here, because now look how far away you are from your Reinhardt. What you can do is not even move at all with your fade. You can just use your fade to dodge out the meteor strike if you time it correctly, and you can just not move.
Okay.
You see your Mercy resing, you see your Ryan's alive, but then you go super far away from the fight. So
Yeah.
what you do is when he's about to slam, you just press the button and then you just stand still. Or you can just go over to your Reinhardt instead. But instead, you go super far away, and then that means that your Ryan dies here in a second.
my ultimate is almost ready.
Okay, and then during that whole period of time, you should have also been walking forward, because you see Ryan's critical through the wall, so you should be looking to be healing him. Right now, you've lost 2 fights because basically you weren't pocketing your Ryan hard enough. Your Mercy's job is to focus the DPS. Your job is to focus your tanks. Mercy's going to be pocketing your Hanzo and your Ashe. You're going to be pocketing your tanks. But right now, you're not focusing on at least your Reinhardt enough here, which means that he's dying first here. He died first 3 times in a row because you weren't paying attention to him.
Here it comes. My ultimate is almost ready. Everybody come over here.
This will restore you. Group up here. Enemy contact.
Okay, so now that our Reinhardt's not here, we're still holding the same position as a team. So our team shouldn't be here, but you also walk in front of your entire team. So you walk in front of your Zarya.
Enemy contact.
Look at this, look. The only way the Doomfist punches you here is because you walk forward. So now you're dead because you walk past your Zarya, and you also don't have your Reinhardt here. Where's Ryan at? Yeah, Ryan's still behind us. So we as a team need to be backing up here, and you can even call that to your team. But you die because you're not trying to back up and wait for your Reinhardt to get back. They have a front line, you guys don't. Even your Ashe just dies too. Your whole team needs to be backing up here, but you push forward.
Okay.
Group up here.
So read the fight. You're down people. You're down your main tank. You need to be backing up.
We must all make
Damage
sacrifices in the name of science. Allow me to repair the damage.
Alright. Let me go a little bit fast here. Let's see.
Allow me to repair the damage.
So both our tanks are dead. we can't win this fight. It's a 6v4. I don't know if we've talked about this yet, but 2 people's basically a lost fight. Or if we up 2 people, it's a 1 fight. Now that we have no tanks, and we probably lose this fight. If, for example, we had maybe Grab Dragon alive, then that's a win. That's a winnable because you have a win condition. They don't have defensive ultimate, so if you have Grab Dragon, then you can win. But right now, with the ultimates that you have, you probably can't win this, so you probably just end up burning them because they still have 2 ultimates left.
Yeah, I was trying. My first intention was trying to dodge the enemy Hanzo's dragon. So that's why I thought that there's a gap in between the walls. So I'm not using Fade to go forward. I just stand on the gaps
Fire at will. Surrender.
to leave that. Yeah, because I know that Zarya's using the grab, so I use my ultimate.
Yep, that's fine. Hanzo should. I think that your Hanzo is dead or something like that. When did our Hanzo die? Because Hanzo should have been comboing with that. We shouldn't have been comboing with that. But if our Hanzo's not comboing with it, then that's fine. So right now Hanzo should be comboing with it, but if he's not, then it's fine, completely fine for you to be.
Yeah, he should use his dragon there, and that could be a team kill there.
Yep. And if you know that you have that combo available, say we're using Grab Dragon in this fight, because that just helps your team get that accomplished. If you're coming into the next fight and you say that, then it's gonna register in their brains. Oh wow, we do have Grab Dragon. Let's use that. Whereas your Hanzo right now isn't using the either was dead or whatnot. So that would have been your Zarya's fault if he was dead, and if he wasn't dead, then he wasn't paying attention to where the grab was.
Your strength fades.
Okay, so right now you are playing without a main tank. So you have to be very careful about your positioning. You're on a hog now, so you have to make sure that you're not stepping in front of your tanks, which you do here in 1 second. Or you step right up next to your tank. You want to be behind your tanks. And the other thing is you need to be very careful about your positioning, general positioning. So making sure that you're standing next to cover, because right now where you're positioning is out in the open. You're standing in the middle of the street, not next to any cover, and then that's gonna mean that you're gonna be taking a lot of spam damage.
Get into position.
Let's get you back in the fight.
Okay. Rather than bouncing it off the ground, try bouncing it off of a wall. Because if you bounce it off a wall, it'll come straight back at you. Whereas if you bounce it off the ground, it'll just go up into the sky. So turn to the right or to the left and bounce it off of a wall. Because these orbs are leaving you very fast. So now it's gone. So try to bounce it up on the wall. Watch for critical HP targets, or teammates. Sorry, not targets. When you see that your hog's critical, you should be healing, not damaging. So he goes a good 3 seconds while he's critical without you healing him. Pay attention to that. Now that he's full, pay attention to the fact that he's full. That heal orb, look at our team top left. Nobody on our team needs healing. This heal orb was a waste where we could have thrown a damage orb and gotten a good 5% ult charge off of it.
See through the dragon's eyes.
Repairing the damage.
Okay, I think this is a waste of orb as well. But I was wondering that if like any of the enemy would use an ultimate or try to initiate a fight at that moment. So I try to throw a heal orb instead of a damage orb, like here, yeah. No, after I heal him, yeah.
Repairing the damage.
Like afterwards, yeah. Here.
Again, instead of trying to. This might be okay, but you don't have anybody critical. Unless you have somebody critical, probably don't want to use a healing orb, or unless you're low on your resources. But everybody's full HP. Right now, you should just be damaging. The other thing is, if you are gonna throw a healing orb, rather than trying to bounce it off the floor, bounce it off into the. Can you see my mouse? I don't think you can. I'm just gonna do this real quick. Bounce it off of right here.
Okay, cool.
because then that comes straight back at you guys. So you
Alright.
get twice the distance because it's just gonna go boom, back, and then back. Whereas if you bounce it off the floor and then it just goes into the ceiling, so it's not gonna get nearly as much value.
Okay.
Because now it's gone. Where's it go? It's disappeared. And then it's back for some more. Then it's gone again. Your team's pushing forward.
This is my will.
You're not damaging enough here. In between this fight, right where you threw that heal orb before, you were below half here.
Repairing the
You're below
damage.
half on it, and everybody on your team's full, yet you're not pushing forward the damage. When you see that everybody's full like this, and nobody needs healing, you need to be looking to damage so you can get your resources back. But instead, you just focus too much on healing here and throwing heal orbs that you don't get any damage in, and then now you're still at like a third of your resource. Hog, you weren't paying attention to Hog when he's critical HP again, and then your team starts to get melted.
Assistance.
So
This
now you're
is
at
my
very low
will.
resources when the fight's starting.
I need to recharge.
We also waste what resources we do have, so look at this replay real quick. So after Hog dies here, what are we healing?
Require assistance.
Everyone, those people are full. Pay attention to health bars. So Hog pushes forward, Hog dies. Hog dies, you weren't paying attention. Now look. What are you healing? They're full.
I require assistance.
Ultimate is ready.
So
Get in there,
then we're gonna do it again on our Zarya.
This is my will.
Zarya's full. We're healing the cart right now. Okay, we heal Ash up, but we hold it too long. Right here, we need to be done. We're holding it too long, and then we just waste the rest when she's full
I need to
HP.
recharge.
And then again, we just like basically what little resources we did have, we just wasted. So instead, damage more to get it back up to full, and then try not to waste resources on people who don't need it, and then focus on people who do need it. So critical HP targets, focus on healing your tanks up. Right now, this Hog's probably so mad at you because you've kind of let him die like 4 times this game.
I need healing.
Okay, and then orbs again. Try to get correct bounces off. So look at how you throw this orb here in a second. Instead of throwing it at cart here, throw it to the right of cart, and then it bounces off the wall. Or throw it to the left of cart, but you throw it straight at the cart,
I need
which now makes it bounce off in the Narnia.
Witches never die.
So we didn't get any value out of that orb. Whereas if we did land that orb correctly, we could basically be at our ultimate by now. Again, so look at, we're kind of letting our crosshair wander a little bit here. Look at what you're looking at, where you're looking for a good period of time. So what are we right clicking here?
I need healing.
And then we heal a Hog who's full HP in our back line, where in the meantime, you can't even see them because they're basically off our screen. But in the meantime,
Witches never die.
our Zarya is 1 HP, and she dies. So you're not paying attention to the things you need to pay attention to. You're looking at a wall, trying to listen for the Doom, right-clicking nothing, and then healing the Hog. So make sure that you're paying attention to your Zarya who's critical on the front line, rather than your Hog who's full in the back line. Prioritize certain things. So people in the front line are going to be a higher priority than people in the back line. Tanks are going to be a higher priority because they're in more danger of getting melted the fastest.
The battle
The
continues.
power of destruction.
Surrender to my will. Poser.
Again, I think we get a little bit of a wrong bounce with this orb.
Time the delay.
The battle
We try to bounce it off the floor, which now is going to mean it goes off in the Narnia again. So look where it goes here.
Power of destruction.
So now it
surrender to my will.
goes over there and then bounces. Whereas if we threw it to the left,
I need healing.
ignore it a little bit. Whereas if we threw it top to the left, then it hits Zarya, she's trying to get away, and then everyone behind her too.
The power of destruction.
Okay,
Surrender
we use
to
our
my
coal.
will. Poser.
Good choice, push forward aggressively with that. Don't kind of sit here, we want to keep pushing with it.
Reinvert Boher.
You have speed and self-healing. You can afford it. Unless you get one shot dinked from the Hanzo, you're relatively safe while you're doing that. So follow it up. Don't hesitate as much with it. So right here, there's a lot of time where you could have spent damaging 4 people if you just move to the right faster, or you move straight in. But you hesitate here, and then you move around, and you wasted like 2 seconds. And then you hesitate again, and you're not moving forward. Where you could have been damaging 4 people basically that entire time if you weren't hesitating. And that could have guaranteed a lot of kills.
Getting cool. This will restore you.
Okay, yeah.
Dein Teil.
Wir sterben nicht.
Help me.
Okay, so we get shattered. We're dead now. We don't have a shield, so it's not necessarily our fault. If we had better reaction times, we could have faded out of it, but I can't really do anything about your reaction times. It's not your job to fade the point here. So look at the state of the fight before you start making risky decisions. You throw a Bob on the point, which means that you do not need to contest point. Because Bob's there. You see Bob. You hear
Yeah.
Bob. Therefore, Bob contests point. You don't need to fade the point. Right now, you put yourself at a very risky position. Straight on cart here. When you don't need to.
Regenerate my cellular structure.
Okay, we have fade up. Ryan swinging at us from behind. We're not even looking at the Reinhardt. So swing, swing, swing. We had 4 swings on us where we could have faded out at any time we wanted there. So keep your awareness up. Listen, hear. You see your entire screen shaking side to side. Swing, 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 swing. We had fade up. Okay, pay attention to your abilities. Pay attention to your surroundings. Listen. Look around you. That awareness will keep you alive here, and then that'll mean that your team now has a support, whereas now they don't have a support. Okay. Overall, though, in comparison to the last time we've spoken, one thing I will mention is that your management for your resources is a lot better. I've only had to mention it once so far, where we talked about you wasting your resources, and then also really healing people when they're full. I've only talked about that once so far. It's a lot better now
I must reflect upon
in
this.
comparison to last time. It still needs to be worked on a little bit, but the main issues here aren't going to be that as much as they were in the past. Okay. Let's pay attention. My Reinhardt comes in. We look like we're too far. Reinhardt does charge in, so that's on him. But then we don't push forward to heal him. We're chilling right here. We don't press I need healing. When you need to watch your health, you're low. Press I need healing for Big Dick. Turn around and throw you an armor pack. You need to be pushing forward here. It's to heal your Reinhardt. A lot of the time, I think you hesitate with decisions. Make sure that you're doing that as fast as possible. You see a Reinhardt charge in. You see that their entire team's there. You push forward to help your Reinhardt. This is like kind of the 5th time that you've ignored your frontline tank, and then that's going to mean that your frontline's going to be dead all the time.
Get into position. Help me.
Okay, so again, your Reinhardt basically he gets run over and then you just lose the fight.
I love
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend
Okay, so now We are doing the opposite of what we were doing last time. Now we should be pocketing the supports, or the DPS in our Ana over the tanks. We should focus a lot less on the tanks. And I'm not gonna see yet, but we're probably gonna see, just because you're a little bit lower. I think that a common mistake would be that you're gonna focus the tanks a little bit too much. But we'll see how you do.
I'm taking care of you.
Yep, so far you're doing good with the DPS. Watch health again. When this is a full bar, you're accomplishing nothing right now, and you should either be looking to heal somebody else or to damage boost her. Damage boosting Ashe will allow her to one-shot targets, and it will also give her an insane amount of damage when she throws dynamites in. So the Ashe pocket by Mercy is so important. But right now, for the past 5 seconds, we've been doing nothing. Nothing. Ana's low. Hanzo's low. Okay, now we sought the damage. You see her, she's low. We're healing them back up. Okay, this is good. We're swapping. Move around the corner more. Look to, because if Hanzo peeked that a little bit more, you see that there's a little sliver of open area right in there where Hanzo could have peeked from. Look at where he's at from behind the wall. If he decided to just move a little bit more to the left on his side, you're dead. So while you're rezzing, move to the left closer to the wall, or even start off closer to the wall so that you can just hide right behind it.
Okay. What if there's no surrounding walls around?
So then you have to decide whether or not it's a safe enough res. So this is gonna come from a few different factors. Do you have tanks that can protect you? Is Sigma gonna? You can ask in chat. Sig shield so that I can res. Something like that. If you have bubble from Zarya, do you have Diva defense matrix? Can tanks help you? Is the enemy team distracted? If you're in the middle of a fight, you might be able to get it off just because they're not paying attention to you. Or is it like in an odd position where you can just get it off because no one's at that spot? So it's gonna be situational with how you do it. If they died in the middle of point and the fight's still going on, you're probably not gonna be able to res it because you're in the middle of a fight. Again, watch your healing. You're healing her too much here.
Where does it hurt?
This is gonna sound bad for a support, but you're healing too much. Damage boost when they're full HP. Pay attention to when they're full HP. You have a meter here in the middle, and it also gives you a listen to it when you're healing somebody up. It'll also go da da. It'll make a loud high pitch. I'm not giving that any justice, but you'll hear the loud pitch noise. Listen to it when they reach max HP. Wait.
Where does it hurt?
You hear it? It goes da da.
Okay.
So when you hear that sound effect, or you see that they're full HP, then you swap to damage, or you look for somebody else to heal. But right now you're staying on healing a lot too often. Healing. Healing. 10 seconds. Now we've done nothing. Okay, now we swap to damage. We're on healing again. Damage. Stay on the damage a little bit more. Ashe just killed something with the damage. Good job. You were damaging her. Heal Hogsus. This isn't. You shouldn't focus tanks unless they're critical like this, and then you focus tanks. Okay, we walk straight into a dragon. Make sure you're paying attention to that. Fly to Hog. Use your Guardian Angel.
Yeah, I think I was about to left shift, but I'm not sure if I pressed it, but yeah, I was about to press it, but it was like, yeah, you see that cooldown? I was about to press the left shift, but the dragon hits me, so.
A clean bill of health.
I'm taking the objective.
Where does it hurt? Heal up. Just point me in the right direction.
Okay, so right now
Objective A captured.
we're not really doing something here, sitting on point. And we see our whole team's here, so what we can do is push up with our Genji, because if we damage boost Genji, then he'll be getting Blade faster, because he'll be doing more damage. So if we go forward with our Genji, then that means that we can keep him alive while you just throw shurikens in
I'm taking care of you.
and damage boost him. So again, focus on your DPS are the highest priority. Right now, Ash is shooting at people. Focus the Ash. Damage boost, good job.
Well done.
Keep it on damage. He's full HP. Maybe now you can start healing Hog up. You see he's taking a lot of damage. He's critical. He's taking he's your Ash isn't in danger, but your Hog's being bullied by the Doomfist. He does get. It looks like he's gonna get out, but he could have very easily died there, if the team punished him a lot faster. So make sure you're paying attention to your tanks on the front line, just in case they need it.
Okay.
Okay, look at what we're how we're positioning our camera here in a second. What are you looking at over here? On the left. You're healing stuff, but then look, you come on the left here. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Okay,
Yeah.
so keep your camera on the fight so that you see more. When you see things, you can make decisions off of it. So you can decide, okay, I'm going to heal this person now. I'm going to heal that person. I'm going to damage this person. I see that there's people coming at me. I'm going to try to dodge their shots. But if we're staring at a wall, that's going to give us no information, which doesn't allow us to have decision making. We can't make decisions if we don't have information.
Okay.
So, for example, if I ask you, what's your favorite cereal? What's your favorite cereal? What's a
Not sure.
cereal? What's a cereal?
What's a cereal?
Yes, just say your cereal name.
I'm not sure. I just go by random ones. I don't have
Alright.
like specific ones that I like the most.
All right. What is your favorite type of apple? Green, red, yellow.
Red.
Red. Okay.
Red.
How could you answer that question unless I asked you the question? You can't. You don't have the information. I did not
Right.
present the information to you, so you could not therefore make the decision in your head to
Right.
answer the question. So if you're staring at a wall, that's the equivalent of me not asking you the question. You don't have any information to go off of, so now you can't make decisions. So don't stare at walls, because staring at walls is not going to allow you to assess the fight and therefore change how you're going to be healing, damaging, and making decisions. Okay, again, if you're making a res, make effort to push behind, like, let's say the cart here. You can push behind the cart, which will allow you to survive better while you're resing. You did survive, but you could have been in a better position. Okay, full HP. Oh wait, never mind. You aren't damaged. Good job. Oh. Pay attention. You hear pulse bomb. You see her throw it out. There's a large red exclamation point right behind us. She throws it straight at you. It's behind you. You see the exclamation point on the bottom of your screen here. Move forward, not don't stand still here. You move backwards, actually, and you almost died at this. You 12 HP. Don't do that. That's a big no-no. You could have died there. So pay attention, listen,
Okay.
watch for it. Okay, good job your damage boosting, but don't damage boost your Sigma, damage boost your Ash here. That allows her to get picks and whatnot. Or you can actually damage boost your Genji if you want to, because Ash almost has her ult, Genji's a little bit farther away. Your Ana right now is ahead of your Genji, but if you damage boost Genji, then he might catch up. So that's going to mean that you have Nano Blade available. So in this situation, probably get damage boost the Genji.
You've got this.
Or Ash. Ash is fine, but Genji might be a little bit better.
Yeah, I think I damaged him because I team up with him.
Let me handle it.
Okay. That moment on the camera, I think it's my problem with the mouse. I'm still fixing that problem.
What did you?
I think remember I told you last time about the cable. I was trying to fix the cable, but I really have limited area to put my to allocate all the cables. So that's why I'm still wanting to get a wider area to put my PC and all the cables, so that the movement will not be like not be like this.
Okay. So listen, we hear, and we see. She's full HP.
Yeah.
We listen and we see that she's full HP. That rhymes. So
Yeah.
she's full. We're still healing.
Damage increased.
Okay, we stopped the damage. Good job.
Ballista.
We're winning this fight.
Heroes
Oh.
never die.
Kill feed. What's up with the kill feed here?
Damage increased.
What does this kill feed indicate to us?
Ballista.
What does that kill feed indicate?
Which one?
The one on the right. What does the kill feed indicate?
Indicate.
When we see this in the kill feed, what therefore kind of what do we take from that? What does this kill feed give us? What
gives us
information does it give us?
Who to give the damage boost?
No, the kill feed. So that's going to be your top right where it shows who's dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you mean the kill feed from our team killed the enemy team, or the enemy team killed our member?
We killed them. We're blue, they're red.
Yeah.
So when we see that we killed 3 of them, we killed 3 enemies. So when you see 3 red dots on the right side, what does that mean information wise?
That we are winning the fight.
Exactly. So right here,
Heroes never die.
that means you weren't paying attention to kill feed. You weren't paying attention to kill feed. You weren't looking around you. Even if you don't look at the kill feed,
Damage
you
increased.
can just look to the right. Oh, that's another thing. So you don't have to stare at, as Mercy, you don't have to stare at the person you're healing. Keep that in mind. So here with the Ashe, when you're coming out here,
Damage increased.
don't stare at your Ashe. Look at the fight. Look at what's happening around you. You can see it in kill feed, but you can also see it in the fight here.
Yeah.
They're all dying. All of red team's dead. So don't just stare at your Ashe. Don't stare at the person you're healing. You can see their health on your little bar, and you can hear when they're full. Look at the kill feed. Look at what's happening around you, so that you're taking information.
Heroes never
You just
die.
wasted an ultimate because you weren't paying attention to how the fight was going.
Healing stream engaged.
Think of your reactions.
The payload
Yep, let's go to the next fight.
You needed a doctor?
Das Universum singt vor mir!
Did we fly into that after or before Siggy's ult?
I'm sorry.
I'm just kind of a rhetorical question. I'm asking myself here. Yeah, we flew into it kind of as he was using it, so that's fine. We didn't know that Sig was gonna ult us here, so we're all good. It wasn't a mistake he could fix.
Good as new. Damage amplified.
Walk it off.
Okay, we're on healing too long.
Moving. My ultimate is charged.
My ultimate is ready.
Okay, sound effects again. Listen for the Reinhardt's footsteps behind you. So each team will have distinct footsteps. So even if you have both Reinhardt's, their Reinhardt's footsteps will make different sounds than your Reinhardt's footsteps. But even if you can take that into account, your team doesn't even have a Reinhardt. We have a Sigma Roadhog. So when we're in this fight and we hear clunk, 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 clunk behind us, swing, shatter, all indications that there's a Reinhardt behind us, listen and not watch for it necessarily. You could have done a quick 360, but I wouldn't necessarily say that's necessary. The big thing is listen for it. He has big, loud footsteps. He swung at you, and then you're all shattered because you didn't pay attention. If you do pay attention, you do catch it out. Call it to your team. Ryan behind, turn around, something like that. But now they all know that there's Reinhardt behind you. You did end up surviving it, but your team's losing the fight anyways. Again, pay attention to the kill feed. Right now we're down. If you do the quick math, we're down 1 person. So we're
Yeah.
losing the fight, but we didn't lose it yet.
The payload
We get a res off. This, we get a pick, so now we're even, and now we're up.
Let's get
So,
you back in the
kill feed
fight.
again. Through all of this, we see we're up one person. We're up two
Well
people.
done.
We can now push forward aggressively because we've won the fight. Up two people is a one fight.
Mhm.
優雅我が敵を食らう
Are you aware of how to do Mercy super jumps?
No.
No? Okay. Where are we at right now on the... So we're at 12:18. Just, I'm gonna write that time down real quick in Discord.
Cool.
Are you aware of what a Mercy super
I'll
jump
be
is?
watching over you.
Wow, Pink Mercy.
So, Mercy super jump. What we're gonna do
Yeah.
is we're gonna crouch, and we're gonna press the
Yeah.
crouch button and the shift button at the exact same time. So we're gonna fly to them while crouching, basically. And then right as we get right up next to them, we're gonna press space bar. And if the closer that we are to them, the higher we're gonna go. So
Your
we're gonna go like
support has
this.
arrived.
So now we get
Oh.
a super jump up in the air.
Oh, okay.
So this will allow us to get to, if I can do this right, this will allow us to get up to high grounds. If I can actually, that up.
I've got
So,
you.
So this
Oh,
will allow us to get up to high grounds. So if you use this, you'll have a lot more survivability because high grounds give you survivability. Because now you can damage and heal people from above. You can heal your teammates from above, damage them from above. With a lot less risk to yourself. High ground is really important because when you're on high grounds, you can't be damaged by a lot of different characters because either they have fall off or they have very close range abilities, and then characters that can get to you require abilities to get to you, so you're making them expend abilities to get to you. The other thing it allows you to do is control your engagement, so you can kind of, if they start shooting at you here, if I'm up on the high ground and they start shooting at me, I can just back up and then come over here and then drop down to my team. So it gives us a lot of survivability, and then also it gives us the option to back out of fights very easily.
All right. So it's crouch and then
Nope, crouch and shift at the same time. So you're just gonna
Okay.
press them both.
okay, and then as you get close to him, you only press one once, right? You only like one shift is fine, or you have to.
You hold it in the whole time. You just hold it in. If you want to go practice it right now, you can. You hold it in, and then you press and then you hold and jump. So
So you hold the space instead of
Yes.
pressing once.
let's see. What happens if you press it once? You can press it once, but you want the glide afterwards probably.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you already do your high ground, because if you don't glide, then you're just gonna fall really fast.
Right.
So if you do it too late, then I don't think
Right
you just
beside
go
you.
it doesn't
I
do
need
anything. So try to do as late as possible to get height.
The doctor
If you don't
is
want
in.
height, you just want to go forwards, then you can do that. So that's how you go past people.
Oh, so that I can.
You don't have to.
I've got you.
Yeah, if you want mobility, you don't have to crouch for this, but you can just do this, like that. Let's see what happens if we. Yeah, we can get a little bit of height, and keep going with it.
So that will be pressing space once, and at the same time press the front, the direction key, the W.
Yeah,
to the front.
you can still hold in space, but you're just not going to crouch this time, and you're not going to go up in the air. So because you're not crouching, you're not gonna go up.
Okay.
So that's gonna give you more mobility.
All right.
Okay, you think you got all this? You wanna go back to the bot?
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, 1 second, a wire got tangled up my chair. I'm good. So what time are we at? 12:18?
12. Yeah, something like that. 12:18. Yeah, 12:18.
So why I thought of that is because right now better positioning would have been if we just did a super jump up to the high ground. Something else you can do that doesn't even need super jump is while our Genji or Ashe are standing here, we can just fly up to them and then do the kind of boost where we go past them, and then that can get us to high ground too. Okay, Hanzo gets your Genji to 1. Probably don't stand still here because if somebody peeks the corner, Hanzo comes up to the high ground, they just one-shot you because you're standing still. Just move side to side so that you're not as easy of a target to kill. Here, you can go for the res. Oh, no, actually, you don't have res. Never mind.
You should be at peak performance level. Nano boost is ready to deploy.
You use Guardian Angel, not a whole lot. Use it more often because you're gonna have a lot more mobility with it. And when you have more mobility, it's gonna make it harder for you to die. So think of it kind of like a Moira fade on a 3-second cooldown without going invincible. Like you're gonna be moving around so fast all the time if you're just using your fly more. If you're trying to get up to her here, just spam it. Wait, you're not timing it right, so just spam shift on her, and then as soon as she peeks, you'll be able to get to her.
Yeah, that's why I think I get to over her and then fall to the other side.
I've got you.
So you see how it outlines them. So you see how it's outlining them with the arrows. That shows that you can Guardian Angel to them. So look here, it's gonna cut off, and you can't see them, and you can heal them from here.
I've got you.
When they're outlined, that means you can 1 fly to them and 2 heal them or damage boost them. So watch for that for when you can actually fly to them, because there's like a 2-second delay here between when you can actually fly to them and when you do. 1, 2, and then you fly. And then you do go too far. And that results in you taking a lot of damage, which better players would have killed you very fast there, and then you do end up dying. So that's because... Go ahead.
I'm sorry. How do I avoid going too far on my...
So what you did there was you did the thing where you went past them. You pressed space right at the end.
Yeah.
And then that sent you past them. To not do that, don't press space. Because then you'll just fly straight to them.
I was afraid that the Guardian Angel will be like block me on the top edge of that high ground of the wall of the high ground.
So you get stuck. You can also just... Oh, go ahead.
I mean, a little bit. Yeah. So you can see where your cursor, your cursor or the
You were afraid that you were gonna get stuck on the lip.
Yeah, like on the on where just below your crosshair is. I was like, because if that's I was like here. I was like I'm gonna stuck in here and then I cannot get onto it. That's why I pressed the space.
Yeah. You can also just not press W with your space, or turn to the side while you're pressing space, because here you're pressing W while pressing space, which sends you over the edge. The other thing is, immediately after you go past the edge, just do a quick 180 and turn back and look at your Ashe. Because you took so long and you're staring at the ground, your Ashe is out of the way already. Okay, so that gets us killed, because now we're out of position. We go and use Blade. We get kills, actually, so that turns into a winning fight. We get 4 kills.
Meteor strike.
Round 2. Ready for battle. Attackers incoming in.
Are you
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Oh, sorry, I'm
Don't let up on them.
holding speed there a little bit too long, actually.
Ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Direction.
Defend objective A.
Okay, our Hog pushes forward. When our tanks push forward, you need to be pushing forward a little tiny bit so that you can be in range of healing them. Because right now, you're not in range of healing your Hog, and he dies. So it's kind of the same thing when you have a Reinhardt. You need to be in a distance where you can help him, assist him out. but you weren't at a distance where you can do that. So your Hulk dies, even though we got a pick. Oh, whoops.
Don't let
My bad.
up on them. You
We
need
got
help, huh?
one extra person. We got 2 extra people. So now that actually turned into a winning fight, even though we lost one. But it could have very easily, if our Ashe didn't do anything, it could have turned into a bad fight. Okay, pay attention here. We're juggling people with healing
Don't
when
let
nobody's
up on
low.
them.
Full HP, full HP. We're healing, damaging. She's full. She's full.
Don't waste
You
it.
just juggling between healing on people who are all full.
This is my will.
Okay, again, you're not paying attention to people that might actually need healing on the front line, which of course it's okay to pocket your DPS. That's what you're supposed to do as Mercy, but you're not even paying attention to what your tanks are up to. You're not looking at your tanks and you're staring at your Ashe here. You don't need to be staring at your Ashe. You're staring at your Ashe, you're staring at your Ashe. And now we don't see, and we're staring at the ground, and we're looking up in there, and then our Sig's dead because we're not, one, we're too far away, and one, we're not paying attention to what our Sigma's doing. So don't tunnel vision. Don't stare at the people you're healing at. You can glance at them once in a while. Make sure you're taking information. You're not just
My ultimate is charging.
not intaking information. Okay. Again, we're looking at our Ashe. We're gonna turn to the left here. We don't need to look to the left here. There's no reason to look to the left here. We don't need to do that until there's a 3-second timer where if we're not looking at somebody, that it'll does actually, I don't know if it's not looking at them. It's if it's behind an object. I don't know if it's 3 seconds not looking at them, but we still have time before we need to do that. You can glance at them real quick and then turn away. She dies here. We're still staring at her dead body, and then we have to turn around. We're looking at the ground. Be looking at your tanks here. So rather than looking at the ground, try to keep your crosshair at head level. Keep it or not head level necessarily, because you can't shoot anything with a Mercy, but keep it at body level so that you have more visibility than this. Because look how much visibility you have when you're staring at the ground. Make sure you're kind of aiming even, horizontal line. You're aiming at body level with other people so that you're gonna have a lot more visibility. Because now, we could have flown to them maybe 3 seconds ago if we had better kind of camera placement, which meant that we could have survived that. You got another pick, which meant you would have been even. Now you're down 1. You could have been even in this fight. You get another person. You could have been up 1 in this fight if you didn't die.
This will restore you.
Yeah, so this fight's
I must
looks
go
like it's
where
being
I-
lost.
Seconds remaining.
Schaden verstärkt.
Objective
A great
lost.
team.
Stop the payload.
Yeah, should I revive her at the place?
Yeah, I was about to ask why you weren't really doing that. There's no reason really to not res him, because if you res him here, then that means that you're gonna have him up here, and you just got 3 kills, which means that you're gonna be able to hold them at choke,
Where does
which
it
is where
hurt?
you want to be holding them. But you keep pushing forward. You push forward in front of your Ashe, which isn't a good thing to do.
Damage amplified.
Your Ashe just killed 5 people. Imagine having your Sigma here where he could have actually shielded both of you.
Don't let up on them.
Join with me.
30 seconds remaining.
So the good thing with Mercy is that her beam has some range on it. You don't need to be standing next to your Ashe or even out in the open. Look where you're standing right here. In a second.
Damage amplified.
You push forward. Why are you standing all the way on the right here, out in the open, where you could be on the left wall, behind cover, which would mean that you're at no risk of dying, because you're behind cover. Right now, you're not behind cover, which means that Hanzo could have just walked out of spawn and sniped you in the head, which at Grandmaster is a very real possibility. And you always want to be playing as if you're playing against Grandmaster players, because if not, you're never gonna make it. You're not gonna be able to hang with Grandmaster players if you can't deal with that.
Okay.
Same with like Masters players. Masters Widowmaker or Hanzo might be able to just snipe you out of spawn here.
Yeah.
So better positioning. Make sure you're standing behind cover here.
So just keep some distance with the Ash.
You don't need to keep distance. Just make sure you're standing next to cover. You're standing next to the left wall. You're standing next to something that is between you and the enemy, so that they can't shoot through it to you.
Okay.
Because if we're holding here
Yeah.
and we're right here, instead, we have the same thing on Ash. We have the same beam on Ash, but now, can they see us? No. Exactly. So they can't shoot at us. Why do we need to be able to see the enemy? We don't really need to be able to. Because if we can see them, they can see us, which means that they can shoot at us, and we can't shoot at them. So there's no reason for us to be in a position where they can see us. So stand right here. Anywhere over here, and then you're good. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up the time. I have to split. Do you have any final questions?
No. We'll talk about that like afterwards, maybe.
Okay, so I'll get.
And
Go ahead.
yeah, for the next week, we can talk about that after, like, when you have time, because I think you're busy right now.